Hey everyone, it's Pixelade here and welcome back to the channel. So we have a lot to talk about in today's video. Of course, early access content is now online. It started going up sometime yesterday on Friday. So we're learning a lot about the expansion pack now that of course we didn't learn previously with what either leaked or that was shown by The Sims with the reveal trailer, gameplay trailer, or even the deep dive stream. There was definitely a lot more that they could have shown off. I haven't watched early access content yet, but I have seen a lot of stuff floating around online. So of course, we're going to be talking about what has been posted online, especially with what is confirmed to be coming in the base game and what is going to be behind the paywall of the pack. Speaking of paying, the first thing that we're going to be talking about is the fact that EA usually offers their EA creators free early access to the pack. Now, if you're a part of the early capture event, the CFE, you usually don't get paid for this. You just receive it a little bit earlier than the rest of the EA creators on the network. But this time around, EA was actually offering $100 to select creators to be able to play with the pack and review it and create content for it early. So Lil Simsy actually talks about this at the beginning of her Lovestruck review. I'm gonna go ahead and insert a clip of that right here.
They wouldn't let people participate in this early access unless they agreed to be paid $100 for a sponsored gallery post. I really did not want to be paid anything related to a new expansion pack because I feel like a lot of people already think that EA is like paying me to say nice things about their game and I'm being paid off. So I think any sort of money exchange really harms my credibility in people's eyes, and I was really frustrated about it. Like, tears were shed over this. It sounds dramatic, but for years in these videos I've been saying I'm not being paid, they just sent me the pack early, and now you're forcing me to accept this honestly insulting offer of money and then have to disclose that I'm being sponsored in every single video in early access. So I'm gonna make 10 plus videos with this pack and have to say I'm sponsored every single time because of that $100. I even had a call with them about it, but I didn't want to cause too much of a fuss and be like the problem person who forced them to work around me specifically. And maybe that was a mistake because I learned later that I think a couple of people did do that and had them find a workaround so they didn't have to get paid. But I had to make this decision when I was still in Chicago in the hospital with my grandma, and long story short, there's been a lot of heartache surrounding this pack, no pun intended, and I've been extremely stressed about this whole thing. So I was paid $100 and I'm getting a $40 game code for free. It would take a lot more than that to buy my opinion, and I would literally never lie to you about this kind of thing. So hopefully you understand that I'm always gonna be brutally honest in these reviews. I'm not some supervillain trying to trick people into spending a ton of money on a Sims game. I have nothing to gain from lying to you. I have no reason to not tell you the truth. And next week, I'm organizing a big charity event called Simmers for Palestine. And the goal is to raise as much money as possible as a community for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. We're trying to get a ton of Simmers involved, and I've already donated $6,000 to this campaign when I started it back in January, and I'll be donating another $5,000 next weekend, so we can just say that $100 EA payment is a part of that.
Usually this early access is free and there are no limitations with it, but there's a lot of reasons why this is really scummy of EA and very unfair for their creators. As Kayla mentions in her video, they have to disclose that it's sponsored, that they're being paid. And honestly, she already receives a lot of shit for people thinking that she's being paid to say nice things about the pack. So the fact that in order to even make any early access content at all, she has to disclose that she was paid for it, honestly hurts her credibility, and I don't think that's very fair. She did reveal that she did accept the payment, obviously since we got the early review of Lovestruck, but she's going to be contributing that money to the Simmers for Palestine fundraiser campaign that she started, which I think is amazing. Part of me is honestly not shocked that EA has done this. I was wondering when I started seeing early access content flood my subscription box, sometimes the videos autoplay when you hover over them, and I kept seeing paid promotion stickers and like every single one that had started. And I was like, what the hell? Since when do they get paid to have the pack early? So I guess it's agreeing to do one gallery post, but you have to upload 10 videos with that sticker and you're only paid $100. That's low-key kind of robbery, honestly. That is extremely low. No creator is worth only $100 $100 for a sponsored post for 10 whole videos. EA, you are a multi-billion-dollar company. Like, that is just unacceptable. That is so gross. And I hope they never pull this shit again with another expansion pack. I'm actually really happy that Kayla spoke up about this. You know, anyone involved in that could have chosen to be as vague as possible about the sponsored posts, but she really explained how she did not like that. And also, while all of this was going down behind the scenes, she was currently facing some very stressful events in her life, which I'm sure just added to everything. I think that is an absolutely insulting amount to give any creator, but Lil Simsy with over 2 million YouTube subscribers, $100 for 10 videos? They are out of their fucking minds for that. Like, just absolutely gross. I'm curious as to what you guys think about all of this. Of course, I wanted to talk about this first. There's so many other things that we have to get to, but yikes is all I have to say. All right, so let's move on to what is confirmed coming with the pack. We have some new information, some new details, a lot of little tidbits that were revealed throughout early access content that of course are circulating online now through tweets. This first one coming in from the Henford Hen. There's going to be an update to Neighborhood Stories, guys, with 2 new additions, friendship changes and romance changes. So now autonomously, Sims will now make or break friendships and also make or break romantic relationships. And if you're wondering, yes, you can disable this. These are selectable or toggleable. So if you don't want a certain one here, or if you only want to select specific ones to enable, you can do so. But I think it's awesome that we actually have 2 new ones here that expand on this system. I honestly thought that they were just going to abandon this, if I'm completely honest with you. So I'm honestly shocked to see the additions here, but that's good. That probably means now that with future packs, they're going to just keep on adding to this list. I still don't really know how I feel about Love Struck as a whole. I'm hearing that it actually does really expand the game, and for a lot of people, that's what makes an expansion pack an expansion pack, but I need to get my hands on this myself and really dive in and see how it changes everything for me before I can really say that I agree that it feels like an expansion pack. But it's definitely looking a lot better now after early access has come out than it did beforehand. Of course, we also have official lot sizes now. This image here provided by Avalon Sims over on Twitter. There are no 64 by 64 lots. Yet once again, but also at the same time, I'm kinda not surprised. I honestly feel like the days of having 64 by 64 are probably over. It's been a while, and they seem to really be focusing in on the 30 by 20s, the 20 by 20s. I'm really hoping that next world we get a 64 by 64 though, but if we don't, I wouldn't be surprised. So English Simmer, one Simmer who's received early access and has been playing with the new pack and seeing it actually interact with her game, has actually followed up on a post crediting her, showing the new changes with Neighborhood Stories. She writes, following up on this, changes I see so far are that Summer and Liberty have fallen out and are in red friendship. Bella and Morty are still in love but barely have a friendship, and he's also fallen out with Cass, but him and Jeffrey are mates. Katrina and Don are better friends. So just actually knowing and seeing here that this actually does work and work properly, and the relationships are changing behind the scenes, I love that. She continues, Nina and Dina are good friends now. Finally, Jeff and Nancy have fallen in friendship a bit. So far, not any new romantic relationships, but a bit of romance gained for some couples. I don't know if Jeff and Morty are friends in base game, to be honest, but I don't think they are. This was with a week and a half of not paying attention to Neighborhood Stories at all and not playing any of the townies. So honestly, quite a difference to have noticed within a week and a half's time. So relationships are actually changing autonomously and changing in more complex ways that we actually need. There's honestly some really funny stuff buried in this pack. The images were taken from Lil Simsy's video. There are actual sugar baby dynamics with some of these pop-ups. I'm wealthy, very wealthy. Just last month I bought Social Bunny and Cupid's Corner. Just straight up bought them. You caught my my eye, and I was hoping to get the chance to meet you in person. I know it's a lot to ask, but I have gifts for you. What do you say? Like, I know the Sims team probably wanted to leave a lot of these small details for Simmers to actually figure out, but these live streams that they do, like EA, they do not really explore what these packs have to offer. They are not selling these packs on their own. I just don't understand why they're not more professionally done, and also no shade or hate to the employees that are hosting these streams, but the excitement just barely seems there most of the time. I think they should have people with actual streaming experience, or that do this on the side, or maybe have streamed or created content in the past, actually be hosting these streams, because I feel like there's also just been a lack of charisma. I really don't want this to get misconstrued, but honestly, sometimes watching those streams, it puts me to sleep. Sometimes it feels very boring. Sometimes they don't really seem excited about what they're showing us. And I feel like we used to really have a lot of that enthusiasm when expansion packs were shown off early. I really miss when Sim Guru Graham would play and do the deep dives. I remember those days. He would be so excited, so enthusiastic. That's really something I think that we're missing now. So the next thing that I want to talk about is a free hairstyle coming to the base game next week. We've known about this hairstyle for quite some time, and it was announced. We know that this is a collaboration with Dark and Lovely. They announced July 2024 for the release of this, and we actually have already seen a preview of it, but now we have a closer, much more detailed look in the actual game of what this hairstyle is going to look like. Of course, this was posted onto Twitter by Fabio Simmer, and the in-game screenshots come from It's Pixia. The difference between these new hairs and a lot of the base game hairs is honestly just kind of crazy. Like, I can't even believe the base game hairs were launched seriously. A lot of them now are just a joke. And honestly, I think at this point, they really need to go back and not necessarily redo them or remake them, but definitely enhance them and bring them up to the current standards of the game. I love the details with this hairstyle. It's making base game hairs that already looked like shit just much, much worse. This next one really threw me off because depending on how creative you are, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this. We now are going to have the ability to create your own custom relationship labels. You know, there are already labels in the game that are generated, like mother, father, daughter, son, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, husband, wife, which is now considered partner. They mentioned in their deep dive live stream that there's gonna be more gender inclusive language. You can actually create your own custom relationship labels now. I don't think this is actually a part of the free base game update. I think this is a pack exclusive, though I am not entirely sure. But if I am wrong on that, correct me. There are going to be some crazy labels made with this. I'm assuming, yes, you're going to be able to name a relationship a situationship if you want. Or if you have a sim that's acting as a sugar daddy, sugar mama, sugar baby, I guess you're going to be able to put that in there as well. Like I said, there are going to be some crazy relationship labels coming out of this. So honestly, a lot of fun to be had with this new feature. It's such a small feature, but it's also such a big feature at the same time. Storytellers, go absolutely crazy with this, please. So we learned about the new Apply To feature coming with the new base game update for the Love Struck expansion pack. We learned about this on the preview stream from the Sim Gurus, but we didn't know exactly what this would work for or what it wouldn't work for, of course, if there were exceptions. The Sims team does confirm on the live stream, but over on their Twitch, that one of the base game updates, Apply All feature in Create a Sim, is going to allow players to add accessories, makeup, hair, and outfit options to multiple categories. So this does include makeup, in case you were wondering. It includes virtually everything. This is going to save so much time for so many simmers and casts that just want to apply this same makeup look to every single outfit. It's just a one and done type of thing. You no longer have to go through each category and find everything all over again and make sure that you set everything to be the same. This is a long overdue feature. This is one of those features that I feel like should have been in the game years ago, but I'm just very happy that it's finally coming now. First shown in Little Simsy's early access video, and of course posted onto Twitter by Lunar Brittany, the relationship preferences are going to be listed down in the Simology panel. That Simology panel is just at its breaking point. There is so much in there. It's so cluttered, and even when you expand it all the way, there's still so much happening in there. I know you can collapse and expand some of the columns, but honestly, I think that the Simology panel is in need of a redesign. There's just way too much there that you have to expand, collapse, and scroll through. I think there should be a completely different UI for this that pops up in the center of your screen, and of course, pauses the game. If The Sims 4 is going to be around as long as the Sims team has been teasing it's going to be around, the Simology panel is honestly just going to get worse over the coming years. It's going to become more cluttered and harder to navigate, so I really hope that eventually we see something done with that in a free update. I think we saw this on the preview stream, because I'm not sure if they were playing with other expansion packs or just other packs at all, or just playing with the base game in the new pack. I wasn't really looking out for that, but apparently even if you don't have other packs installed, you're still going to see cross-pack compatibility features a part of the Lovestruck expansion pack. So the option for going ice skating or making snow angels or even pets as activities for dates are still going to show up in your activities list if you don't have seasons or if you don't have pets installed. I really don't like this. This is going to open up doors for some very manipulative things, but honestly at this point, considering we have the shop button icon in the game and despite all of the outrage, they didn't bother to remove it, I'm not surprised. So if they have a little question mark next to the icon like you see here in this picture, they're available to you, but only if you have purchased the pack that is linked with them. They're still going to show regardless. You know what this is going to lead to? This is going to lead to them putting every single Create a Sim asset, every single build buy asset, and likely every single interaction that the game has to offer with every single pack or DLC in the game, whether you own it or not. And guess what? If you don't own it, what they're going to do is they're going to have it show for you straight in front of your face, but they're going to gray it out so that you see it and you know it's there, and then they instill this FOMO, this fear of missing out, because that is very much so a marketing tactic now that gets you to purchase it. Can you imagine building your sim house? You only own 1 or 2 packs, and out of the dozens and dozens and dozens of DLC that there are, especially the kits, you're seeing all of these items for buy mode. You're seeing all of these refrigerators, you're seeing all of these counters and curtains and decor items, and you can actually see what they are. You can see what they're called, but you can't actually place them. It won't let you place them down unless you purchase them. Can you imagine seeing all of that stuff cluttered in your game as a way to get you to buy it? That is exactly where the Sims team is going to go. I'm sorry, I am already calling it. First, here with these activity labels, we already have the shop button icon, basically guilting you into buying more packs. I wouldn't be surprised if we landed here next. It's literally the Sims 3 store all over again, and it really is free advertising for them, and you couldn't tell me that if they did something like this, they wouldn't earn more money from it. They'd receive new DLC purchases out the wazoo. This screenshot, of course, was taken from Ocean Sims' early access and posted online by that one Plumbob, showing the new options for Cupid's Corner. So of course, we already knew that we had the option to either enable or disable gallery sims in Cupid's Corner, but there's also also a second checkbox for favorited gallery Sims in Cupid's Corner. If checked, Sims in Cupid's Corner that are from the gallery will only be from players you follow, households you have favorited, or Maxis curated content, which is just going to clean up the experience even more so you aren't getting crazy random things in your game. This is a really good setting. Very happy to see this. So what we know so far coming with the Sims 4 base game, thanks to the Hen for Hen, 3 new hairstyles, new nails and swatches. Of course, romantic boundaries are coming with the base game. We're receiving curved pools, streamer safe music option in the settings, the copy and paste feature to outfits, and of course for makeup as well in Create a Sim, our own category finally for eyelashes. I can't wait to see this populate with CC stuff, friendship and relationship changes for neighborhood stories, which of course we talked about in this video, and the relationship section in the pie menu. So it's going to be a big update, guys. It's going to be a massive update. A lot of stuff is going to break for this. So in time for Tuesday, remove your mods folder, remove your tray folder, remove everything, remove it all, okay? At this point, I think it's best to start fresh. Patch day is going to be a lot of stuff is going to break. Honestly, if not everything is going to break. Share your thoughts below on everything that we covered and talked about in this video. The custom relationship labels, of course, everything confirmed to be coming for free in the base game. The Cupid's Corner settings menu, activities behind a paywall, but of course still shown to you whether you own the pack or not. The ability to copy and paste and cast, the brand new Dark and Lovely collab hair that's coming, new Neighborhood Stories edition, lot map sizes, and of course the EA creators being paid for their early reviews. That's it from me. I love you guys. Thank you for clicking and watching, and I'll see you all next time. So long and happy life simming. Bye guys.